Talk about the first time I learned that there are unwritten rules to working out in the gym. They're stupid, and I really kind of hate them, and I hate the notion of them, but there are rules. For example, that guy that walks over in front of the dumbbell rack, pulls off the two, I don't know, sometimes they use 35s, 40s, whatever dumbbells are way too damn heavy, and sit and buck them out and do those side lateral raises. Apparently that guy, the unwritten rule in the gym is that guy now owns a 4 by 8 foot space that nobody else is allowed to walk into. And that includes in front of him where all the dumbbells are. And so if you would like to use those dumbbells, you're screwed until he's all the way done. And I'm not just talking about done with his sloppy looking, stupid set that he's doing. I'm talking done all the way. When he puts those 40s down that he slaughtered, now he's still owns that space, and you're not allowed to walk into his space and grab the weights that you need. And it doesn't matter if you're a mid-50s lady trying to do your workout, he's still going to gym-intimidate you, not let you use those weights. That's a rule. And how about that gallon jug of water that is apparently part of the uniform of working out now? How about that? Did you know there's a rule behind that? And wherever he takes that gallon jug of water, now that gallon jug of water and him, they both own whatever space they're in. And the question I've never been able to figure out is when he sets it on the bench, this gallon jug of water, when he sets it on the bench, are you to address him about using the bench? Hey buddy, do you mind if I move your gallon jug of water? Or do I go and ask the gallon jug? I want you to know that if you're that guy standing in front of the mirror, doing your thing, intimidating the old ladies trying to do their workout, you're a dick. And also, your gallon jug of water is a dick. These are the unwritten rules of the gym, and they're stupid, and I reject them. And I want to tell you the story of how I learned one of the unwritten rules. How I learned there were even unwritten rules. I learned there were unwritten rules in a place called Jake's Gym in northern Utah, Logan, Utah. And Jake's Gym was it was a little hole in the wall. Terrible little place. It was one of those places you could go put the combination in, the door would swing open, they gave you the new combination every time you paid your dues every month. And it was $20. And it had broken mirrors, all the vinyl on the benches was torn up, cracked and craggly. Some of it was sometimes the benches would even rock so that you couldn't even work out on them. All the bars were rusty. It was a pretty ugly little place. I doubt they ever cleaned it. Now, the way I understand it is they moved Jake's Gym out north of town and made it respectable. I don't know, I haven't been in there. But I can tell you back when I was using it in the early 90s, that place wasn't worth a shit. It was the quintessential dive gym. It truly was. And I loved it. And here's why. Because I could go in there late at night and I didn't know what to do. And I was intimidated as hell, but I was absolutely sure that I needed to work out. And this was going to be my place to work out. So that's what would happen. I'd walk in, I'd punch in my code, I'd go in, and I would go late at night. I'm in there working out one day, and I thought, all right, I've always wanted to use this barbell thing. Didn't dare use the barbells. They had lots of cool old Nautilus, rusty old Nautilus machines, still called Nautilus too. And I would, they had instructions on them, so I would go use those. I would just kind of push them, and I didn't really understand how many sets of how many reps of how much weight I was going to use. I had none of that conceptualized. I was just in there moving stuff around, trying to get a feel for it. And about the time I sort of figured out some of the machines in there, and when I say figured out, understand I don't mean it. I didn't have anything figured out, but I was in there kind of dinking with it. About the time I got brave enough to try one of the barbells, it was late at night one night. I'd snuck in there. The lights were already on, but that wasn't weird because there were always times that the lights were on. Like, people came and went all of the time. And I was in there and I snuck over and grabbed a barbell. It was just this rusty, craggy old knurled thing. Little flakes of chrome were chipping off of the ends of it. I thought it was so cool, and I put little 5-pound weights on it, and I put the clips on them. I always wanted to work on the clips. They had these two things that you would adjust, and then you could spin the rotor to tighten them. And I was in there, and I kind of was looking around and picked up my barbell, and I walked over toward the mirror, and I started curling, and I was curling it all wrong. I would start leaned over, and I would curl, and I would lean it back, and I would lean it forward. And for the most part, my arms weren't bending at all. I was just doing that thing that you do when you don't know what you're doing. And that's okay. I mean, you got to learn somewhere, right? And as I'm over there flopping around with it, knowing that I had kind of stepped into the big weighted part of the gym for my very, very first time, I was super intimidated, but I thought I got away with it. All of a sudden, from the back of the gym, I hear this booming voice, massive voice. Hey! The f*** out of my mirror! I was so scared. I didn't even think they were talking to me. All I heard, you know how like you're scared anyway? You're there, don't know what you're doing. I hear this, hey, get the f*** out of my mirror. I didn't realize it was a rule. Apparently, there was somebody in the back of the gym using the mirror in front of me to work out. I didn't know that he was there, let alone that that was a rule. I figured this, if I was in anybody's way, they could simply go like this and continue. But apparently that's one of those big gym rules. You can't just walk over into somebody's mirror. I didn't look back at him. I really kind of didn't know he was talking to me. And I had just shat my pants. And then he came running at me. I heard the whomp, 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 whomp of his footsteps. He was coming right at me. I hadn't bothered to look back, and I think he took offense to that. I'm positive he did. Because as he came walking over to me, I'm still holding my barbell kind of in my hands, lower. I hadn't done another rep yet. I was still trying to see if I was upright. My legs were shaking. And he comes over and he smacks my barbell like this. I didn't quite let go of it. And he took offense at that. And he made sure that it hit the ground. He pushed it to the floor, made an awful racket. Great big old bang. Then he gets up in my face, right here, spitting in my face. And you should have seen him as he was on his way over, because I watched him in the mirror come at me. He came out of the shadows, right? Face all mangled. There was this great big Native American guy with hair flowing and bouncing up behind him. And he was massive. Massive. He was huge. I don't know how humans get to be that huge, especially back in the early 90s. And he came stomping over. Teeth were all knurled up, beady little shiny red eyes. Not really. But he jumped right in my face with that big old nose and pock-faced skin. I don't remember what the hell he said to me. I lost my damn mind for a minute. But I do remember shaking as I went, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. And he walked off. And I forgot to move. And he yelled, now! Yeah, dude, I got out of there. Went into the bathroom. Sat there and sort of trembled. Not really, a little though. I was a pretty cocky guy back then, and this rattled my cage. And I had just enough pride not to leave. So I walked back out into the gym. I walked back into my machines, and I walked over and grabbed this machine. They had this cool Nautilus machine that you set an elbow on here and you set an elbow on here, and you can grab these two vertical bars like this, and you can pull it to this side, you can pull it to this side. Now, that machine is made to use your obliques. I didn't know, so I'm pushing it. And I'm just having a glorious time, because apparently the lady that was on it last left it on a pretty lightweight, and I was just pushing it around like this, and here comes that voice from across the room, just booming. Hey, you know what the fuck you're doing? Get the fuck out of this gym! Apparently that's an unwritten rule. You also got to know what the fuck you're doing. I reject these rules. I think these rules are stupid. And if by some means this guy could ever see this video, or any of you that want to put your milk jugs of water on a bench and gym-intimidate old ladies just trying to work out, or that stood in your damn mirror, or don't know what the hell they're doing, I want you to know that you're a dick, and you're doing it wrong, and you're the one that broke the rules. And the rest of us, we're doing it right. Because you don't need to know what you're doing in the gym to go into the gym. And if you don't know what you're doing, I'll help you. I got a knack for it. Our people got a knack for it. We can help you. And that's my story. Gym rules are stupid. Unwritten gym rules are stupider. And all that matters is you come in and get fit.